Hey guys, it's Bridget with San Diego Seed Company, and today I'm going to talk about what to plant in your May garden. Now before I do that, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you're notified anytime we put out a video. So let's jump into it. May is a magical time in the garden. It feels very busy because it should be. You should be pulling out cool season crops, you should be putting in warm season crops, you should be starting tons of seed. You should be very busy. Now remember, during this busy period, to take a deep breath and enjoy the spring because it'll be gone in an instant. Now, what seeds do you want to be starting in May? Well, I've got a little cheat sheet here. So, for those of you who have seen our other videos, you know that this is like the exact same whiteboard we've been using, or actually a blackboard, for the last several videos. That's because not a lot has changed between what you start in April and what you start in May. I did add zinnias, sunflowers, and just flowers in general. I don't want people to forget, while you're so busy starting all of your warm season veggies, to forget planting flowers in your garden. So speaking of zinnias, like these cool packs here, if you comment on this video and subscribe to our channel, we will pick one lucky winner to get some zinnia seeds to you from us that you can plant in your garden this spring. So while I'm talking about flowers, you'll notice I've got tons of trays of flowers here, everything from milkweed to straw flower, zinnias, all kinds of stuff that we've been starting for weeks and weeks now, because I want to constantly have beautiful flower transplants that I can put in the garden to keep my pollinators happy, and also to add tons of color during this time of year when, as you're gonna see when we go out into the garden, things may not look super great yet because things have just been planted. They're small. The garden is in a time of transition. So we'll go and check that out, but we'll go over a few other things that you can plant now. If you were in zone 9 and 10, and also 8, the soil should be warm enough. Your cold weather extremes should more or less be done. And you can actually transplant or direct sow a lot of your warm season crops. So that's things like watermelon, tomato, eggplant, beans, corn, cucumbers, all the things listed here. If you think that you're still gonna have some cold nights, if you're at higher elevations, or you just live in an area that has more extremes, you can use row cover. Covering your plants or even your direct sown seeds with row cover really helps the germination, keeps moisture in the soil, and helps buffer from some of those really low temperatures that you might see at night. Row cover is one of the greatest things ever invented. We use it on the farm all the time. Pretty much any time we plant something that we want to kind of baby, we tuck it in with some row cover at night or even during the day to make sure that it's nice and protected. So let's go through these all individually. So I've got zinnias and sunflowers up here, cornflower, a lot of very easy to grow flowers, marigolds, they all can be planted now, either in transplant form or you can direct sow them as long as you keep your eyes on them and make sure they stay moist the whole time they're germinating. Watermelon is a great thing to direct sow now and towards the end of the month. It is a plant that does need warm temperatures, warm soil. So if you think your May temperatures are going to be a little chilly, you can wait till the end of the month to direct sow those. Tomatoes, eggplants, and also peppers. We've been talking about these for the last couple months. They're something that you want to start in a transplant form and then transplant it out into the garden. If you're having issues getting those germinating, you can make sure that you want to make sure you use a heat mat. That's going to allow for quicker, more even germination, and you'll just notice the seeds will pop up so much quicker. We have direct sown our corn on our farm. We're so excited about it. It's already popped up. It looks amazing. Cucumbers have already been planted. Also squash. Now we haven't quite yet planted our pumpkin, and it's in part because we've been so busy. And also we will direct sow pumpkin towards the end of this month when the soils are definitely warm enough to get quick, even, good germination across the field. So those will be one of the last things that we actually plant in our garden and on our farm. All right, so I've given you a quick overview of what you can plant in May. Now let's go check out the garden and see what it looks like. This is like the only section that kind of looks okay right now. Okay, so we are in our May garden. Now let's take a look and see what it looks like. You can see throughout here, Doesn't look so great. That's because we just ripped out all of our crops that we were seeding. For those of you who have watched our videos, you know that we had a bunch of seeding Ethiopian kale. Now it's on my patio and I gotta get it processed. But now we have a little bit of fallow land, which is okay. We're gonna let this sit until we have our next rounds of transplants to go in the ground. There are some key things that I do want you to note here. We have tons of flowers growing because it's really important to keep blooming plants in the garden year-round for the pollinators. It also looks awesome. We also have some really good-looking carrots that actually need to be harvested soon. So we still have some cool season crops in the garden. Look at that beauty. But they are getting towards the end of their life. So they're either need to be harvested or will be harvested soon, or are even past their prime. Cool season crops for zone 9 and 10, and really zone 8 as well, are done. And that's because these crops enjoy cooler temperature and shorter days. We are moving into warmer temperature and longer days, so different crops wanna grow. You can see right next to our carrots, we've got our tomatoes, which are looking fabulous. They need some love. I really have neglected the garden lately. These need to be pruned, all of them. They need to be put up with their tomahawk systems. I've done, you can see actually here is about the only one that I've done well, and it looks awesome. We've got my plant clips here. I've stayed on top of pruning. I need to do some more, but we've already got blooms and we're gonna have tomatoes before too long. We started these very early, and at our Ramona farm, we actually already have tomatoes, which is really exciting. So again, May, it's spring. People think that, okay, as soon as spring hits, then the whole garden needs to be planted and ready to go. That's not the case. It is still a time of transition. Plants are gonna be being pulled out of the garden because they're done. And then plants are gonna be put in the garden because they're gonna enjoy this next time of the year where the days are longer and the temperatures are warmer. So if your May garden doesn't look like this, well, actually I hope it looks better. Don't worry, there's plenty of time. Enjoy this springtime and be planting as many seeds as possible so that you can see the blooms of tomorrow. Now don't forget, make sure you comment on this video and subscribe to our channel if you wanna be entered in for your chance to win 2 packs of our zinnia seeds that you can plant in your garden this spring.